This is another video which I'm going to be using to expose some more information about the secret group of people which are a part of the cult. Bearing in mind I've got other YouTube videos as well which are online. I've got two called Guy Bloomsmar Exposing Being Controlled in a Conspiracy, which means being controlled in the cult conspiracy. And I've been leaked some information to me. I've had some information exposed to me about the cult. And bearing in mind this cult actually are the people that are supposed to be connected to the Nazi Germany. They're like it's to a Nazi Germany like cult. That is what they're supposedly connected to, and this is what the plan is in the society. That they've all come together and believe that they're going to run this world in dominance by creating a new order. And basically, those of us that are not connected to this new order and not a part of it, we're the ones that are not important and everything like that. Now, I'd like to explain, I've been living in a house which is 222 Surrey Road. And in 222 Surrey Road, there's a lot of group members which are a part of the cult there. And basically, they've been trying to mind manipulate me for about 2-3 years now since I've lived in the property. And I've been told that this is what their plan is as well. The information that's been leaked to me, I've been told that they've been working against me to create as much peer pressure as possible to try to weigh me down as the victim in order to constantly be in my mind, my self-aware mind, so that they can knock my self-awareness out of me. And that they can kind of put me in a mind-controlled state where they can see me walking in directions that they want to see me walking in. For an example, when I say that, what I do mean is, so it don't sound too crazy putting it that way. It is crazy, actually, what they're doing. What they're doing is crazy. But what they want is like to take my concentration away. They bug me constantly. And the plan is to rip the concentration away from the victim, by using mind manipulation. And they use all these like distracting, disturbing techniques with noise. That's constantly pretty much what they do. They don't give that a break. It's to constantly like keep the victim under pressure and keep the victim under their threat. Now, let me explain, since I moved into the 222 Surrey Road house in Canterbury, Kent. So when I moved in at the very beginning, I was like, wow, ouch, this is a bit I'm trying to find the word for it, really. This is a bit kind of like exposing. And what I mean by that is because there was a door between me and the neighbour. And this door is not very soundproof, like it doesn't really cut out a lot of sound. There's a lot of sound that comes between the doors between us. And this room that I'm in particularly is a very silent-like room. Do you know what I mean? Right? And this silent room that I'm in is like so silent, especially when you can't hear the traffic going by. And it's that sort of silence where it's just so silent when you can't hear nothing at all going on. So the next door neighbour that I'm living next door to there, the one that's next door to me with the door between us, in between the two rooms we've got. Also, bearing in mind, I want to include, so that it makes sense, also when you walk out of my bedroom door, you walk out into the kitchen. So they can make loads of purposeful distractions by making a lot of loud, purposeful noise. And that is what they do. That it's angry. Like they're slamming around really angry to be in my mind all the time and to cause a distraction and to give me the threat that, like, we don't like you. So that I feel in fear all the time. Do you know what I mean? This is how they're working me in my mind. But anyway, going back to the thing with the two doors between us in the room. And where this cult member's living next door to me. Remember that I've already exposed on YouTube that the people that I'm now living with, the tenants in this house that I'm living with, made a plan to get me to live in the property. And they done that because they wanted to try to control me and to cause this peer pressure. That's what their plan's been about. I don't know so much whether they would try to kill me or not, even though I've had a death threat under the door and that. But I'm not too sure, but I don't take any risks. I watch my food and I check my frozen food often just in case it's been tampered with and things. I just have to be as careful as I possibly can be. And I shouldn't even have to live life like that, being a victim of this really disgusting, evil cult that they are. But anyway, going back to that, he uses all these sort of like mind control techniques and that to grab my attention and to constantly distract me. So that when I'm trying to focus on the television, for an example, like if my television's on and then like it's at a low level, he'll sometimes play a game where he tries to turn the volume up and down. Do you know what I mean? Sort of thing, like. And what it is to grab my attention so that the television kind of goes over the sound that's being made in my room, and the attention is grabbed to him all the time. I've had a next door neighbour which lives above me, is apparently supposed to be a part of this cult as well, and like he creates loads of stomping noises and that. Also, bearing in mind, I must clarify that like the house is very delicate as well, and this is what makes it a very easy target for them when they're all connected in that house in this cult together, in order to try to get to me and create me peer pressure and to squash me as the victim and to make me stop me being relaxed and to get to me, like to cause all this peer pressure. And then you get the sound which goes on in the kitchen. I've had things like when I go upstairs and use the bathroom, and then when I'm on my way, as soon as I come out of the bathroom, they deliberately stop the television to make me uncomfortable. That's another thing which they do to be in my mind. I've explained this in previous YouTube videos where the next door neighbour I'm living next door to at the moment also does a thing like where I leave my room to go into the kitchen, he deliberately turns the television off, waits until he hears the door close, and then waits until he hears the door lock or whatever, and waits until he hears me sit back down on the bed because I've got a noisy bed, and then all of a sudden, he turns his television back on again. And they're doing all of this as it's all part of their mind control, and this is what I've been told. This is what they're interested in. This is what they're doing. And apparently they're doing this in the workplace to us as well. Like those of us they know that are not a part of this secrecy and are not a part of this cult, in order to try to mind manipulate us in a psychological way and to get to us psychologically by using mind manipulation as well as like a mind control technique against us, is in order to like try to force us not to have our own self-control, and they're trying to distract our own self-awareness, if that makes any sense. This is what I want to try to wake up to you all on this video, on this exposed video about how this cult's working. It's a dangerous cult as well because, as David Icke exposed on London Real, and I do believe that they've been taking a lot of his videos down. I know they took one of the video clips down which David Icke exposed about the Nazi-like Germany cult happening all over again in our society. And they're more than likely touch my videos in the end, I should imagine, because mine pretty much are just saying the same thing. There's nothing dangerous or hostile being said here. And I think that they're just taking it away so that the evil can have the control. I don't think we're living in a society at all now, or a system where it's about people that really care about the protection of victims and protection of people which are being abused and attacked by people in this like conspiracy cult. I don't think they're protecting us. I don't think they care, without labelling who those people are. And it's also regardless to the fact that whoever has taken the YouTube video off, it could be a higher service, it could be all sorts, it could be YouTube itself. So there is all this sort of censoring sort of stuff going on and control, where they're trying to silence and trying to stop certain things being said. And I think it's all part of this control. This very Nazi Germany-like cult that's supposedly happening all over again. They want to form a cult, form an order. And that's what they believe they're living in. They all believe, because they've all come together and they're all connected, that they're a part of this new order. Now, it's a bit weird when you look at it as the New Order, because for years and years, those of us that have seeked conspiracy on YouTube and found stuff out, we've had it exposed and told that, like, that there's a plan that is in society in order to bring us into a new world order, and it's meant to be the way they'll change the laws work and the way they change the system. Now, it's really weird. I don't know how true it is whether they're a part of that, this cult. Just want to say that. But I do know that this cult, this Nazi Germany-like cult that's happening all over again, do believe they are running a new order, and in their new order, which they hope to see happen in the society, whether it's the same as the New World Order, I don't know, which it more than likely is, probably, to be honest. That's how I wake up to it. They kind of want us controlled in their new order, and they all believe all of themselves that have become connected to their cult in particular, that they will run it. And this is why they're using all this mind control against us in the shared properties and in the employment. And they're using all this mind manipulation in order to constantly be on the victim's case, because it's their way of saying we're in control of this society. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. I don't care if there's certain people out there that don't believe me. The way they look at it and the way they see it is by using these controls and threats, by using a psychological manipulating mind controlling like game in a mind manipulating way, is their way of trying to bring us down and trying to be in control of the rest of us. And this is sick in the head. This is really serious, to be honest with you. Like, it stops us from being able to relax, and they know it. This is what they're trying to do. Like, so that you're not concentrating on what you're doing in the moment. Your concentration is always being taken by the sounds they make, by the disturbances they make. Are you all understanding where I'm going with this and what I'm saying? And this is what I've put up with for the last 4 or 5 years since I exposed their secret society group to the police, and since I reported them for threatening me, and since I reported them for their death threats and stuff like that. Ever since I've reported all of it, I've never had the end of it. And I've met quite a few of them in different shared houses. And now it's all starting to make a lot of sense how I did, and why I did is because in this very cult that they're all a part of, they're all over the place. This is what the truth is. They're all over the place. And this is what they're doing. They're working in domination, in a powerful evil, using power together to bring down everything so that they can be in control of it. They want to be in control of our lives, and it's really true, whether you believe it or not. Yeah, it sounds crazy, and it is. It is crazy, but it is true, I know. They want to be in control of the society completely in every way possible, and they want to be in control of us as victims, and they want to control us in every way that they've possibly got. I'm trying to find another example that I could explain things so it could make sense, really. I've noticed stuff like if I play religious music in my house, that they deliberately change the mood and start slamming the doors hard, and start getting loud in the properties and things that I've lived in. It's stuff like that. So there's an example that I'm trying to wake you up to and show you all, so you can understand it and know what they're up to, is as soon as they see a sign within you that you're a good person and you're doing your best just to be good, and you want to see the good life, you want to live in the respect, you want to be respectful. It's quite simple, yeah? Because you only go one way or the other. You are a good person truly, or you're evil, and there's only 2 ways to go. None of us are stupid, we all know that. But this is where the joke comes into it. This is how they play the game, that it's just all in your head. And they play the psychological game that they've never done nothing wrong. And you'll find that if you ever get in any arguments with this secret society cult that they all are as well, this is what they do. They kind of play the game that it's just all in your head. And sometimes they'll tell you that as well. Trust me, they do. But I definitely know who they are and who a few of them are, because I've been given names and that now, and it's been exposed. And I do definitely believe this to be the truth. But yeah, going back to it, that's what they do. As soon as they realise the difference and they know you're not evil like them, and they know you're not a part of this pathetic conspiracy that's going on in the society today, they will put you under their attack. And that's how they get you in the mind, and that's how they're trying to control all of us. I don't care unless he believes me or not. I am exposing this and I am taking them down to the ground because they have done so much to me and I know what is going on. This is a created conspiracy within the society, possibly because of the way the world's going right now, and they are doing their very best to control it. I can't mention the rest of it that goes on around it. I'd like to go into it, but you can take a very good guess, can't you? It's the system they're trying to control. And these are the sort of system techniques they're using against us at work and that. When we're at work, so we can't be relaxed where we're at work and we can't just concentrate on ourselves and get on with it. They're using manipulation and they're using threats in a psychological way, and they know what they're doing in order to stop us from being on track. And I probably should have explained this like in my other YouTube videos, but there's always so much to explain and expose about them because there truly is so much going on to what they get up to and what they do. I do know that this conspiracy in Kent is big. Where I live in Kent, it is a big thing. There's a lot of people fitted up to it, and there's a lot of people that have become a part of it. And a lot of people have met them on their journey in employment or in shared housing today, and they've been told about this secrecy that's going on and how they want to cause us a society war. So just remember, it's not just the terrorism going on, whether you want to look at them as terrorists or not. It's not just the terrorism. It's the people in the society that want to cause a society war in this plan as well. And that is what's going on in this conspiracy. Do you really think I would sit here and talk on YouTube and explain it and expose it in the way that I'm doing it if like any of this is some sick, twisted, made-up joke? Why would I put my own life on the line? And why would I do all of this if I didn't know nothing in it and if it weren't the truth? Do you seriously think I'm that stupid? It's because I know what this dangerous conspiracy is and I know what's going on. I've tried for the last 4 or 5 years to wake all people up. And yet again, some people are still sleepwalking. I know it's not an easy thing to go through. And the question is kind of like, what can we do about it? Because I guess we are all sort of tiptoeing around what's going on. And I can understand that. And I can understand that this really is heavy peer pressure, because it is. I'm with you, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, I understand you. I'm with you. I can see it. I've been through it. I know how heavy they make all of this in order to be in control. And how they're using all these threats and manipulation, psychological manipulation in the mind, psychological harassment. And that is it. I'm with you. I understand it. But like, come on, it's time to be woken up here within yourself. Be awake. Are you a good person or are you bad? Because right now we are being controlled by a serious evil. And a serious evil that wants us under its attack in a very dangerous way. Like I've already explained, like death threats coming under my door, being threatened on the streets, being followed about. This is how very sick and twisted this is. This is not normal. And this is one of the reasons why they don't behave normally either. The psychos. And that's what they are. And the rest of us that ain't a part of this conspiracy and we're not a part of this thing going on, we are okay. We are okay up here. But what they try to do to the victim is all of that peer pressure and all of that psychological harassment they use against you to try to squash you and bring you down is to try to make you that way, a bit similar to themselves, because they don't think right in the mind. Of course they don't. They've got thoughts to kill people and things like that. It's not normal. It's not normal stuff. And only us normal people know the difference. We know it ain't normal. But it's only evil that believes in going around killing people and things like that. And they don't like the religious people. They can't stand Christianity, just like the days of Nazi Germany. Just like the Nazi Germany cult and the terrorism and all of that back then. They didn't like the Christian people. They cannot stand it. They despise it. They hate anything that's to do with God. Because, of course, like they believe they're worshipping Satan. That is their God. That's their worshipped God that they've chosen to worship. It's Satan. Sorry, you can believe what you like. I'm not crazy. I'm just telling you as it is. Yeah, it might sound crazy. Their God that they worship is Satan. And they believe that, I've been told apparently that it's actually Satan himself that's the creator of all things, apparently. You know, I can't be entirely sure how true certain things have been said to me and how accurate information is. But, yeah, I do believe it because they are very sensitive towards like Christian people when they know you're religious and anything that's to do with God, because they deliberately show this display. And it's like when they hear you playing religious music and things like that. But this is where you'll see a sign in these people, like how you behave, if you know what I mean. So like if they see you're a really decent person, you've got manners and you talk well and stuff like that, this is what they don't like. And like this is how they attacked me as a victim. This is how I realised it when I was living with them in the shared property where this all started. Like I was never rude to them. I'd done nothing wrong. You know what I mean? I just had respect. I had manners and stuff like that. And I realised they didn't. And I think as soon as they realised the difference between us, they saw the difference with like the way I was as a person. It irritated them. It rattled them. You know, it made them shudder. And my ways made them shudder to the point that that's where they started to attack me and like cause me trouble and things like that in this cult that they're in. And that's where it starts. To be honest with you, it might sound funny to some people, but like I'm quite a hearty person, really. I'm most of the time have been. And I like to live by the heart, really, if you know what I mean. Like, in order to stay being a true good person, if you know what I mean. And that's something they don't like because they're full of all this evil and they believe in control and they believe in the opposite of compassion and love for people and things around them. Like, as soon as they see someone that's like that, you become under this attack. And I suppose to them lot, you're kind of a threat because I think it's like light upon the darkness, isn't it? Like, as soon as they see someone that stands in the light, they know your light burns against their dark side. And they know it's not going to mix well together. So as far as they're concerned, they might as well abuse you. They might as well bully you. So I hope those examples make sense, really. But going back to living in this house at 222 Surrey Road, like where they play this psychological game, where it's really easy for them to do that in a very delicate, squashed together house. So this is probably where they really like got really desperate for the plan to have me in there, so they can force themselves into my mind constantly as much as possible, and to try to bring me down to stop me being relaxed, and so they can push my mind frame into a controlled mind frame where they're constantly grabbing my attention, constantly manipulate the victim, and constantly, like I've explained already, cause mind manipulation to the victim so they can't relax where they're living. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, really, how it's easy for them to get at me in the way that they do. So it's like when I'm living there, basically, I sort of get it from all sides because, like, it's like above me, like next door to me, in the kitchen. So it's like whenever I'm concentrating on things and I just want to be left alone and I just want to concentrate in my own world, it's like I'm always being pulled out of that and I'm being dragged and placed back to their attention again. Do you know what I mean, yeah? So this is what I'm trying to explain to all of you, and this is what I want to wake people up to. This is the system of how the very twisted, evil cult work. This is what they're doing to us. And apparently I've had it exposed to me that this is their plan. I really hope this has all come out clearly because I've actually covered my hand with the microphone area and that can stop the sound coming through quite a bit. So I hope that it's come through okay. But yeah, this is what they're actually doing to us. Like, they're doing it to us at work and things like that. As soon as they know we're different and they know we're not a part of this bloody pathetic conspiracy that's going on in the society, like, they're attacking us all and they're doing it to peer pressure us so that we're not comfortable at work, so that we're not comfortable where we live. And it's actually so that they can apparently gain some control from us. And so they're in control. It's like a threat. We're in control. You're going to live life like that and you're going to do what we say. Do you sort of see what I'm saying? So hopefully all of this exposure in that way is pretty good, what I've explained, and it can wake people up. I really want to wake up like how the society of them work and what they're doing. And this is how they work together when they work in power together, especially when they're fitted up in these shared houses and they are living together secretly, but they don't let that on. And like when they've got together at the working place and things, oh yeah, they've built and made a real evil plan against the society. And this is something that's going on all over the society in the world as well. It's global, apparently. It's a global plan in order for them to try to make a society war happen. I probably will lose my YouTube videos in the end, probably, and I might have to find another way around it of trying to explain exactly what's going on, maybe. But if they're going to attack David Icke's videos, I'm pretty sure they're going to attack mine. So I'm pretty sure they're going to bring me down eventually and start removing pretty much everything I've got that exposes this conspiracy that's happening. Because it's quite clear they don't want it exposed, and I don't believe it's to protect anything. Because think about it, if they're the dangerous that's in the society controlling it and doing all the dangerous stuff, and they're the ones with the dangerous plans, and they're the ones with these dangerous sick minds, it's just psychopathic, isn't it? It's a psycho. Like, at the end of the day, if they're if they're attacking the right information and the good information kind of thing by removing it, and then how is everyone supposed to be self-aware and be awake to this evil that's going on? All that does is helps the evil be in control, so it don't really make much sense. We all have the right to know what's going on because we're being attacked by a vicious, serious evil. And because it's that bad and it's that dangerous, it should be exposed, and there's no right for him to take it down and try to remove it and stop us from knowing the truth. And to everyone out there who listens to me and pays attention to my stuff, whether you care or whether you don't, because there's a lot of arrogance in the world now, and there's a lot of people that they've only got like care for themselves. It's how bad things have become. Thanks for listening. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I'm their biggest victim going. They want me dead. I know that. And what I've done is a sacrifice, really. Just like it was a sacrifice for reporting what I knew about them years and years ago. And it's one of the reasons why I've become their big victim, because they can't handle it. I know the truth. And they got no way of shutting me up and bringing me down. Shame that. I'm proud. I don't care anyway. I'm against evil. And this is an evil I will not tolerate, and I won't bow down. And I won't let them have the power, and I won't let them have the control. And they know it. They know that. And don't dare any of us let them. Because there's a part within us, that they can't touch. They can't touch this love that comes from here in our art. They can't touch who we are. Not really, they can't. And they know that. And they just can't handle the difference. Stay true to yourself. Don't let none of this evil trash in this world change you. Don't let any of it bring you down. Stay true to yourself and stay a true good person. Because the more that they're ripping us from the person that we are, and the more that they've got more on them side, and they're laughing and they're winning. Because the more power that they've got, and they're just thinking, ha ha ha, what are you going to do to us? You can't touch us. This is us. We've got so much power in our cult that we're a part of. Yeah, that's how they work, and they know it. They're pathetic, and they're stupid, and they're a pathetic, stupid evil that just want control, and they want control in a really evil, malicious way, and don't bow down to it. This is the end of my video exposing the circuit of people in the Nazi-like Germany conspiracy cult that's happening in the society. And like David Icke said, and like I've already said, the Nazi-like Germany cult, which is a very similar thing, which is now happening all over again. It's a very similar plan in order for them to be in control and try and take it over. You can believe what you like. I am not a crazy man. I've told you the truth. And I've been talking the truth for the last 4 or 5 years about everything that they've done to me. And I am going to carry on screaming, and I am going to carry on talking, and I am going to carry on exposing, because they've had no right to do what they've done to me as a victim, because I've done nothing to deserve it. Thank you very much. Stay strong and stand above the evil, because I'm telling you now, in my viewpoint, this evil is not going to win. Take care.